So, I wanted to talk a little bit about my experience with hearing teachings from the Vinaya over years. Just like everything else in Buddhism, hearing something once uh, doesn't do much. We have to go over and over and over and over again. And that's certainly true with the Vinaya. It's very complicated. So I've heard teachings with Venerable children many times here at the Abbey. I've attended 3 Vinaya courses. The first was in 2011 at Foguanshan when I took full ordination. I was trying to think about what I actually learned. I did learn etiquette and comportment, I will say for sure, how people move through space and what the form looks like. What popped into my mind is that I was just happy that I survived walking 800 million steps up and down in really hot weather and 100% humidity. and I survived. So, in 2017, Venerable Master Wu Yin taught the Vinaya here at the Abbey. And I started getting an understanding of our role in keeping the Dharma alive in the world. That started getting clearer to me. And then now this course, more things are getting connected in my mind, and I wanted to talk a little bit about those. One of the things that I love is that when we study anything, we always can go deeper, deeper, deeper and have more understanding. And I think that that continues until Buddhahood. And that gives me great comfort because there's nothing else in this samsaric world that has that quality, at least for me. And so I feel like that's something I can really count on, and it has never failed me, and I don't believe that it will. So the teachings in this course has helped me make some connections that I never made before. And for me, studying and practicing the teachings are about connecting things so that over a long time we can then transform ourselves into Buddha. So that's a big undertaking, but if we don't give up, we will get to that point at some time. Venerable Gogwan taught about encountering monastic duties. And she presented 3 urgent and important tasks for monastics, no matter what our responsibilities are when living in community. And so those 3 are to enhance the learning and practice of the precepts, to enhance the learning and practice of mindfulness, and to enhance and learn and practice wisdom. So what was new for me is how we engaged in learning and practicing precepts is, all of these, but especially precepts, is such a much more vaster practice than I have held in the past. And I thought about, well, what is that? So I want to talk a little bit about what that is in terms of seeing the interconnectedness of precepts to everything else. And so we engage in learning and practicing the precepts individually, first of all. And so that's to monitor internally what my mind is doing, fueling what actions of body and speech I engage in. And this would be through intention, mindfulness, introspective awareness, wisdom. It also includes purification of mistakes through the four opponent powers. And through our practice of holding our precepts, we deepen our understanding, and after some time, we start losing the distinction between practice on the cushion and practice when we're off the cushion. And I think that's due to the increased stability of our mind. We begin to look at our experiences through the lens of dependent arising. And then we engage and learn precepts in community. And so we cultivate merit and virtue through serving the Sangha. And by learning and giving feedback to one another regarding our actions. Through practice, we learn how to do this skillfully with compassion. Because when we don't do it with compassion, it's very messy and very painful. So this is how we learn. And then also, I've learned about precepts in relationship to community in terms of our bi-monthly posada, and then the Varsa and Pravarana and the Katina rites. And it's amazed me, especially with Varsa and Pravarana and the Katina rites, how powerful those rites are. I think I've learned the most through experiencing those rites year after year. There's something quite, I can't even describe it, but it transforms us in a beautiful way. It's very connected. We step up and get more transparent with each other, more honest. We find ways to talk about the things that are difficult in a very kind and compassionate way. And experiencing that and doing that is profoundly transforming. So that really surprised me. I didn't anticipate that would happen. So those are beautiful. Also, by doing these rites, then we strengthen our positive actions and decrease our non-virtuous ones. And my example of that is when we enter into Varsa, then at first it wasn't, but now it is. I think about every time I want to open my mouth. And if my mind is afflicted, I keep my mouth closed. And that is so helpful for everybody. Also, when we're doing the rites with mindfulness, that's very important so that we do them correctly. And that increases our ability to concentrate and follow the instructions and do things in a correct way. That builds a lot of virtue and merits, very helpful. Also, asking feedback from the community, which we do in Paravana, then that's the perfect time to remember all the causes and conditions of our actions during Varsa. That then helps keep our mind balanced. Because at first, when I was hearing people's assessment of how I was doing, that was very difficult. But putting it in the context of the causes and conditions and a bit of emptiness, then I could take it in and not get all wigged out and, upset. Then the learning and practicing of precepts in society. So that's accomplished through sharing the Dharma in many different settings. And then you learn how to teach and share the Dharma in a manner that can be understood by the person or the group in front of you. That's very helpful. It teaches one how to cultivate humility, how to manage the self-centered attitude that wants to take over, and also the 8 worldly concerns. And then through sharing the Dharma, we deepen our understanding of whatever topic we're sharing, which is very helpful. We develop and strengthen our bodhicitta motivation, create merit. So we offer society a different way of living to the world. We offer ethical conduct, compassion, love, transparency, honesty, clarity, inclusion, and contentment. So far then, my takeaway from this beautiful course is the vastness of the power of living ethically and how it touches everything. So I once again rejoice in this infallible path and look forward to continuing on the journey with you all.